This is the Neural DSP Quad Cortex, the most hyped and expensive amp modeling pedalboard of all the time. Is it worth the hype and the price? After 4 months of intense usage, let's find out if it is any good. Hello everybody, my name is Leo, and with this video, first of all, we will hear the Quad Cortex in action with a demo song, where everything but the drums have been recorded using the Quad Cortex. Then we will describe the main characteristics of the unit, also comparing it to other amp modeling pedalboards. Then we will hear more sounds, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, as it would really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. Let's now describe the main characteristics of the Quad Cortex, also comparing it to other similar units. First of all, it has a nice 7-inch touch-sensitive color screen that is the biggest one in comparison with its main competitors, and of course the only one to be touch-sensitive. Now, in my workflow, I typically build my presets with the computer app, and I make just little adjustments with the physical unit. So for me, the touchscreen is not such a compelling feature, and so far the computer app is not available, and I really miss it, as in my workflow the computer app is very helpful in order to have everything on my computer without having to reach out to the Quad Cortex. But of course, for those of us that do not want to use the computer, the touchscreen is a very welcome feature and allows very easy and intuitive operations. For sure, the learning curve of the Quad Cortex is faster than the one, for instance, of the Kemper or of the FM3, where, especially at the beginning, I have struggled to learn how to browse the menu and to learn how the unit actually works. So the touchscreen is very intuitive indeed, even if its sensibility could be improved. I mean, sometimes it's not so responsive, and for sure you don't have to expect, for instance, the responsiveness of an iPhone. It has 11 foot switches, and like the FM3, it is missing a built-in expression pedal, having obviously an input jack if you want to connect one. Now, honestly, I like the Quad Cortex solution here. In my opinion, it is the best unit in terms of compromise between dimensions and number of foot switches. And if you want, you can add an external expression pedal. Obviously, this is my opinion, also derived by the fact that I'm not, I would say, an heavy utilizer of the expression pedal, as I don't often use the wah, and for the volume I prefer to use the guitar volume knob that obliges me to be more careful, I mean more connected with my guitar. We have also to notice that the Quad Cortex foot switches work also as rotary knobs. Now, we are supposed to press the switches with our foot or our shoes, so every time I have used it for live jigging, basically I was obliged to clean the rotary knob. That is sometimes pretty boring. Also here the computer app could have come to help, as with the computer app you don't need to use the rotary knob, and so you can even not clean them up every time. As regards switching modes, we have stomp mode, scene mode and preset mode, so it offers the typical functions for these types of devices. It offers more than 50 amps, more than 70 effects, 1000 impulse responses, with the possibility to load your own IRs. The microphone and cab simulation section is done very well, with all the main parameters at your disposal, supported by a clean and intuitive interface. We have almost 500 factory captures that are growing and growing thanks to the upload of new captures made by the Quad Cortex user community. Here it is worth noticing that the Quad Cortex is equipped with artificial intelligence technology that can learn and replicate the sonic characteristics of an amplifier, also using neural network algorithms. So it should be, how to say, the next level of amp profiling. I have already done some video comparisons with both the FM3 amps and with the Kemper profiles, making some head-to-head tests. You can judge by your own the results that are outstanding in my opinion. And I have to say that the profiling procedure is easier compared to the one of the Kemper, that requires many refinements and tweaks within the profiling procedure. You can create pretty complex FX signal chains, actually with 32 blocks and 4 parallel paths. In terms of number of effects, it is inferior to the other units, especially the FM3 and the Helix. But the effects at our disposal should grow with firmware upgrades, as also demonstrated by the updates Neural DSP is actually doing, where new plate reverbs, flangers, etc. should be added soon. It has a Wi-Fi modules for wireless preset sharings, cloud backups and over-the-air firmware updates. That is very cool and unique in comparison with other devices. I have to say that the Quad Cortex way to update the firmware is very welcome. Every device has its own procedure and it is always a pain to update the firmware. But with the Quad Cortex, well, problem solved. You have just to connect the Quad Cortex to your Wi-Fi router and the Quad Cortex basically makes the upgrade by its own. Very welcome and very cool feature. Obviously the Quad Cortex can also serve as an audio interface with Cyrus Logic codecs and USB audio transmission with 8 audio channels. Here, unfortunately, the unit does not come with a Type-C port but USB-B. That is a kind of a bummer. Nevertheless, I have to say that the Quad Cortex is really a fantastic unit to record electric guitar, bass guitar, acoustic guitar, the voice, etc. Thanks, for instance, to its 2 XLR input that can also drive condenser microphones. So for instance, you can record an acoustic guitar and your voice together with 2 microphones. And the Quad Cortex can be the center point of your home recording studio. You don't need anything else for recording a song. For instance, the demo song at the beginning of this video has been done just with the Quad Cortex that I have used to record the electric guitar, the acoustic guitar, driving a Neumann KM184. And I had a lot of fun writing and recording demo songs that I hope you have enjoyed too. Let's now have a look at the I/O. It has a dual combo input with TS, TRS and XLR connections and built-in microphone preamps, so that the unit can be used both for guitar and vocals. That, as I said, is something very cool, especially for guitarists who are also singers. It has a dual effect loop that can embed external mono or stereo effects into our signal chain. It has stereo, TRS and XLR outputs in line with the other units. It has also an output that is used for the profiling procedure, an headphone out, MIDI in and out ports, and 2 ports for our expression pedals. Therefore, the I/O are in line with other units, with the exception of the dual mic inputs with phantom power that are pretty unique. And now, price and availability. The price is currently around €1,875 or $108,050. So it went from 1,600 at the moment of the launch to 1,875, which is a pretty substantial price increase due to the current chip shortage situation, according to Neural DSP. Its main competitors are all cheaper. In fact, the Kemper stage is priced at $1,600, $1,700 in dollars. The Helix is priced at €1,419 or $1,699, and the FM3 is priced at €1,299 or $999. As regards the availability, with the Quad Cortex you have to be very patient. For instance, so far, Thomann website tell us that you have to wait 12 to 15 weeks, which is a lot of time. As regards the form factor, the dimensions are 290 by 190 by 49 millimeters, and it weighs 1.95 kilos. So the Kemper stage and the Helix are much bigger and heavier than the Quad Cortex, and the FM3 is the most similar in terms of form factor, even if it weighs a tiny bit more than the Quad Cortex, even because the power unit is inside the FM3, where for the Quad Cortex you have an external PSU. Now, being substantially smaller than the Kemper and the Helix, it is obviously lighter. On the other hand, its lightness could imply that it is the less robust. Neural DSP said that the Quad Cortex is built with anodized aluminum unibody with laser engraved graphics and with a display armored with a 1.8 millimeters chemically strengthened Corning protective glass. Therefore, it should be robust enough, and actually it feels pretty robust, and so far, after 4 months of intense usage, it is still like new. Let's now hear some more sounds. considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Let's discuss about the pros and cons. The pros. Well, the first one is the form factor. I love its compactness and lightness. So far, in my opinion, this is the best unit in terms of form factor, with the best compromise between number of foot switches and compactness. Yes, it does not have an expression pedal, but of course, if you need it, you can add one. The other pro is obviously the touchscreen, which is the biggest one in comparison with its competitors and contributes to reduce a lot the learning curve when you first start to use the Quad Cortex. Then maybe the most underrated characteristic of this unit, but it is a big selling point for me, is that this unit can be easily the center of a recording studio, without the need to buy an external audio interface. With its 8 USB channels, its 2 microphone preamps and the possibility to create profiles of your favorite amps and gain pedals, well, it is absolutely a beast in terms of recording capabilities. For instance, the demo song has been recorded using the Quad Cortex for the voice, the acoustic guitar, etc. Basically everything but the drum. And I have also done a specific video dedicated to its recording capabilities that you can check out in the card above or description below. And last but not least, the sound. Well, you can check out my direct comparisons with the FM3 and the Kemper, where we have also compared the tone and feel of this unit versus its main contenders. In my opinion, it is on par with the other units, and it also provides us with the best of both worlds, as it offers both the profile capabilities of the Kemper and the modeling capabilities of the FM3. Yes, it misses the tweaking capabilities of the FM3, but the Quad Cortex is still in its infancy, and I expect a lot of improvements from future firmware upgrades. And now the cons. First of all, the missing computer app. I know we have the touchscreen, but honestly, for my workflow, the computer app is a must-have. I mean, for recording in a seamless way, having everything in my computer is just the better way to work. Obviously, in my opinion and experience. The second cons I would mention is the missing looper, which is available in all its main contenders, and it is something I think is indispensable for a lot of us. Then I would mention the effects section. I mean, I'm not an effect geek, so I don't need many effects, and I would say, live with the ones available in the Quad Cortex, but for sure the effects available are still too few compared, for instance, to the FM3 or the Line 6 Helix. Then I would mention that the touch screen sometimes is not so responsive. I mean, I found myself repeating the same touch a few times, and this could be annoying. So I hope that Neural will improve this touch screen in the future firmware upgrades. Lastly, the price and availability. I mean, the Quad Cortex is now $1,875, which is a pretty high price, and with a jump of 275 euros compared to the launching price. Neural said that the price jump is due to the current chip shortage situation, and the chip shortage situation is actually real and undeniable. Now, I think that the original price was more fair, but judging the value for money, we have also to take into consideration, in my opinion, that this machine, other than being a modeler and a profiler, is also an high-level audio interface with two pretty nice microphone preamps. Now, a good microphone preamp can easily be priced over 1 grand. Or let's take an Apollo Twin X, well, it is around 1 grand alone. So if you sum up all the features of this unit plus its recording capabilities, you see that the value offered here is pretty high. Is it worth 1,875 euros? Well, it depends upon your needs. And for me, it depends also if Neural DSP continue investing in this unit with constant and consistent firmware upgrades and improvements, as Neural is actually doing. And please let me know your opinion in the comments below. The last cons I would mention is its availability. I mean, if you order it from Thomann, for instance, you have to wait more than 3 months, which is a lot of time. All in all, I have to say that I am happy with the Quad Cortex. I found myself using it more and more. It's a cool unit. It's nice to see. It makes me want to make more music, to play my guitar, and it allows me to be creative. And honestly, the more the time goes by, the more I'm using it over the FM3 and the Kemper. So, these were my final 2 cents, and now I really would like to hear from you your opinions. What do you think about the Quad Cortex? What about its value for money? Have you already bought one, or are you planning to buy one? Which are the main selling points for you? Please let me know in the comment below. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, as it would really help me to make more videos like this. And of course, it's free. If you're interested in my IRs or my Kemper profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.